Perception. We all tend to see the world in our special ways. Three persons can view the same event at the same time and each will report, in total honesty, a story different from all others. Each story varies because each individual perceived the event in a different way. It all happens because reality is a personal phenomenon based on the perception of an individual. Perception provides uniqueness to an individual's personality. It's an important cognitive process which is very complex too. Externally, perception depends upon size, repetition, contrast, familiarity, etc. and internally by individual's own motivation, learning and personality. When you watch a situation, it's filtered through selective process and then interpreted into a meaningful way. Individual difference and uniqueness is the result of perception. For example, perception of a 20-year-old person will be quite different from a 40-year-old person. If the following figure is shown to different persons, their reaction will be altogether different. A person who is a 40-year-old secretary working in a company, going back to home in the evening after spending 9 hours in the office, fully tired, says that it's a picture of an old ugly lady. Another person who is a student of a college in early 20s, full of life and energy, will perceive it as a smartly dressed young lady. Both individuals perceive the figure according to their age, physical as well as mental state. If figure like figure 1.1 is shown to different persons, they all may interpret it in a different way. A person who is hungry for last 3-4 days, he may say that these are 2 round chapatis. A person who is a mathematician will find it a figure of 2 circles. Still another one who is in a very romantic mood will say it's a beautiful picture of moon, and so on. Sensation versus perception. Physical senses are vision, hearing, touching, smelling and tasting, and sixth sense, of course, intuition. The 5 senses are affected by stimuli. Some outside forces are sound waves, light waves, mechanical energy, etc. and inside factors are muscles, hormones, glands, etc. So sensation deals with elementary behavior reflective of physiological functioning. Senses are used to see color, brightness, loudness, heat, taste, fragrance, etc. Perception is comparatively a broader area. It's a complicated interpretation of raw data which we get through senses. Cognitive process may partially or totally change this data. Perception adds or subtracts something from sensory data. For example, if you travel by a car and stare at the moon and stars, they appear to be traveling along with you, but then a person feels that these are stationary or fixed. Same lecture of a teacher delivered to a group of students will give different meaning to different students. If you have a strong desire of something, your whole concentration gets affected by that. Ink blot test and perception. A Swiss psychiatrist developed this projective method which is used to select the new employees in the organizations. It makes use of simple material like ink blots and then to see how the subject perceives from a blurred picture like figure 1.2. Whatever a person describes about this picture, it indicates unconscious factor in perception to reveal dynamic factor of behavior and personality. The basic principle underlying the test is that when some unstructured situation like an ink blot is shown to a person, The response reveals fundamental features of his personality through his perception. Factors influencing perception. First factor is the perceiver. Personal characteristics of a perceiver will affect his perception. If you buy a new model of a car, all of a sudden you start noticing that so many cars of same model are running on the roads. It's not that the number has increased within one day after your purchase. It's only your own purchase which influenced your perception, and ultimately it created a curiosity in your mind that how many others are using the same model of car. Different attitude will also affect perception. Some students like to be a part of small classes because they like personal attention given by the teacher. There are some students who don't want to get noticed in the class. They would always prefer to be a part of large group. A plastic surgeon is more likely to notice an imperfect nose than a car mechanic is. Focus of our attention will influence the perception. Repetition of events, first time experience, and expectations of perceiver will also affect perception. In India, we expect that all policemen are harsh and rude in behavior, and whenever we talk to a policeman, we assume that he will not be docile. Second is the target. The target which is being observed also affects the perception. Extremely beautiful people always draw attention. Target can't be looked at in isolation. Its background is equally important. As in figure 1.3, if black is taken as background, then the object is shape of a side table. If white is background, then these are the profiles of two faces. Timings of occurrence of event will affect perception. If two persons died in the river while swimming within 1 week, people may start perceiving that particular place as a dangerous spot. Third factor is the situation. The change in situation may affect perception. For example, if you are attired in a party dress for a marriage function, you won't be noticed there. But if you wear the same dress in the classroom, you will definitely draw the attention of the teachers and other students. This is only the situation which changed the perception. Attribution theory. People always perceive about living things, not about non-living things like table or chair, which don't have any ideas, thoughts, feelings, etc. Attribution theory says that when we observe the behavior of someone, we try to find whether it is internally or externally caused. Internally caused behavior is that which is within the control of a person, and externally caused behavior is due to the factors which are beyond the control of a person. For example, if a hostler comes late in the class because she was attending a birthday party last night and as a result she got up late in the morning, it's internally caused behavior. 3 concepts will help us in understanding such type of behavior. First is distinctiveness. If the behavior of a person in routine is not like that, but sometimes he behaves in a particular way. For example, if a student daily comes late in the class, it's internal attribution to behavior. But if a student occasionally comes late, the teacher will think it's due to external factors. Second is consensus. If one student comes late in the class, we give the blame to internal attributes. If majority of the students on any particular day come late in the class, we assume it as externally caused behavior. Consistency. The more is the consistent behavior, the more we are likely to perceive it as internally caused behavior. Fundamental attribution error. We tend to overestimate the influence of external factors and underestimate the internal factors. This is called fundamental attribution error. For example, a young man who generally drives the motorcycle very fast, if meets with an accident, our first reaction will be, it must have happened because of his habit of driving fast. In reality, the occurrence of accident may be due to the negligence of the other party. Self-serving bias. If we achieve something, we try to take the whole credit of success ourselves. If we fail anywhere, we try to blame fate, luck, God, or other external forces for that. Selective perception. People selectively interpret what they see on the basis of their interests, backgrounds, experience, beliefs, and attitudes. We are more likely to notice those things which are quite familiar to us. We see what we want to see. We can draw some conclusions from an ambiguous situation or events. We take all information in bits and pieces and then interpret the things on the basis of our own convenience, attitude, beliefs, etc. Factors affecting perceptual selectivity. As shown in diagram number 1, there are two types of factors which can affect perception. First is external factors. First factor is size. Size will affect the perception of a person. For example, big size things can draw the attention of anyone. The cost of advertisements given in bigger size is more in print media as it draws the attention of more readers. Same in case of printing of books. Second is intensity. Strong intensity of speaker and very bright lights in Jagrata catch the attention. Advertisements and commercials on television are always a little louder than regular program. Third is repetition. Repetition also affects perception. Advertisement of a particular product given again and again. Some particular brand name becomes the identity of a product, like Colgate as a substitute of toothpaste. Repeated instructions by teachers have so much effect that you cram these instructions. Fourth one is familiar. A familiar and novel situation. For example, if a teacher teaches in a routine matter in the class, it won't attract much attention. But if she uses totally new method like activity method, students tend to pay more attention with full interest. Fifth is contrast. A person dressed up in a very different manner will catch the attention. It gives a uniqueness to a thing. For example, in university, all houses are painted in red color. If any house is painted in totally white color, it will be perceived fast. When something is done in contrast with other things, it has an attention-seeking effect. Sixth is motion. A moving object draws more attention as compared to still objects. Advertisement on television draws more attention than in print media. The names of some shops or products written in moving bright lights are used to catch attention of the consumers. Second type of factors are internal factors. First internal factor is self-concept. You see what you want to see. Your opinion about others depends upon your own opinion about yourself. For example, if a person himself is very honest and he has to deal with a clerk in government office, he will feel that the clerk is also honest like him, but in reality he may not be. A person himself is corrupt. He may think that anything is possible in this world to achieve by paying money. Second is belief. A person will censor a stimulus which doesn't go with his belief. This censorship provides shield to his belief. He would always like to listen something which supports his belief. For example, a fanatic or rigid person, if you say something rational or something against religion, he will just not listen to you or start quarreling and would not accept any logic. Third is expectations. When you anticipate a particular behavior, it affects your perception. For example, following assumptions about others' behavior. All policemen are rough and aggressive. All women are bad in driving. All athletes are low in intelligence. All females as executives are honest, etc. Fourth factor is inner need. If you have a strong desire to get something, all the time you think about that particular need and your whole concentration will get affected by that need. Your perception about routine things will get distorted. For example, if a student needs a particular book for a test, he is very seriously searching for that book, and if you ask him a simple question, 2 plus 2, his answer may be 4 books. A hungry person will answer it as 4 rotis. Fifth factor is response disposition. It's a person's tendency to perceive familiar stimuli faster than unfamiliar ones. For example, if the word DR is shown to persons from different professions, the doctors will say it's the short form of doctor. An accountant will say it's a short form of debit, or so on. Everybody will try to interpret it in the terms as it's used in his own profession with which he is quite familiar. Sixth point is own point of view. If we ask different groups of doctors, teachers, engineers and advocates that out of all the professions, who are the most according to you, everybody will name his own profession. We like to watch the situation from our own angle and from our own point of view only. Seventh is perceptual defense. If any idea comes in conflict with your idea, you just filter it. You deny conflicting information and try to distort the information, drawing some conclusions. For example, 2 groups of students talking roughly and aggressively on the basis of your past experience in the college, you perceive that now definitely they will start fighting. In reality, just after exchanging hot words, they may go back. A few aspects of personality that influence perception. First one is secured people perceive others as warm individuals. Second, thoughtful people don't perceive the situation in black and white, but shades of grey are also understood. Don't make extreme feelings about someone or any feeling on the basis of single evidence. Third is self-accepting people easily accept others. If you have confidence in your own personality, then you feel that people also like you accept others also easily. If you believe in your